Alright, so this video is going to be part pedal demo, part lesson, so stick around towards the end because we're going to talk about how to infuse some Billy Gibbons-esque phrasing into your soloing, and we'll use that sort of Nasty Dogs and Funky Kings track that I created to do that. But first we'll take a look at this fun pedal from Rockett Audio. I was just using that for the video. I'm going into my 2-Rock Bloomfield Drive, which is high wattage, clean pedal platform, great pedal platform amp. And I like that because the clean high wattage amp thing really lets the pedal speak and have a personality. I tried it with a Blues Junior and it was just breaking up the amp and wasn't a good representation of this cool pedal. It's a pretty basic pedal and they really coin it as the Billy in the Box pedal. It's just got a level control, gain, and then bite, which really is just a high-end adjustment. And one of the things I like to do always is just kind of give myself a nice clean tone. Drop the pedal in and see how the pedal sort of affects it. You see it's a little gnarlier sounding already. And that's usually a good place for me to... I also play the same thing a lot because I know the lick well enough, and the pedal and how it responds will tell me what I think of the tone that it's generating. So don't be afraid to play the same stuff over and over with pedals, right? So that's all well and good. So the pedal's adding some nice, what we call amp-like personality. When the gain's that low, you can get a sense of does this pedal sound like an amplifier? So we'll crank it up a little bit, or feel like an amplifier. Still gives me, more amp-like tones, and it sounds less like a pedal, less like, a bunch of parts in a box, and that's really, really great. So for the track, I was really cranking it, and I'm going to turn the level down to adjust. And there's some great sizzle happening there that really gives it sort of that Billy Gibbons tweed breakup sort of sound. The low end gets kind of boosted and fatted, and it feels really good to play. You get all that support from the low end, so if I just crank it, let's go for broke. So what's great is that a pedal like this, crank the gain all the way up, it's very, very usable. Sometimes pedals just have so much gain that it feels like you're starting to play in like a thrash band or something, and you can't ever use it. It's nice to be able to use the whole range of the potentiometer there. And if there's a little too much bite for you, just bring it back. We could really warm it up if we wanted to. Still has some of that sizzle, but it's cool. So kind of soften the high end a little bit. We'll take it down even further. So there it is. That's the Rockett El Hombre pedal. And I used that in the track that you heard. And I thought, let's let's share some more tone stuff. We're going to be doing that in a lot of different lessons. But thanks to my friends J Rockett Audio for sending me this pedal early so I could get to know it a little bit better. And how about that artwork? I mean, that artwork screams Billy Gibbons. Super, super cool, and I'm having some fun with it. So, guys, check that out. I'll put a link below where you can check that pedal out, and if you decide to jump on it, that helps my channel a little bit too. But stick around. We're going to talk about some phrasing ideas that will get you more in the Billy Gibbons wheelhouse. Let's go do that. All right, so you heard me play through the pedal. We got some cool tones dialed in. Let's stick with that and talk a little bit about what we can pull from the playing example I did. And let's talk a little bit about where that came from. Well, the first half of that is straight out of the Nasty Dogs and Funky Kings. I pretty much played it verbatim. But when it gets to the chord change, I took off and did some of my own stuff. So let's talk about that first. The first thing you'll notice is that the main groove is based around A, or they'll call it like an A vamp. So it's a riff. And you could just go. But they're playing the main groove. All right? Then after they do that for 8 bars, they go to E. But they'll play the riff. And what that does is that gives us an opportunity, as I pull my gain back a little bit, it's a little furry. So let's make it a little brighter there. Using my toes with the pedal. That's the next lesson. How to change your knobs with your toes. So in any case, you have to be aware of when those changes are coming. And when you have an extended period of a chord like that, just one chord vamp, you can kind of change keys when it goes to the next chord. And you can do that by using your A minor pentatonic, your A blues scale, and it's going to sound great. We'll demo that a little bit against the track. But the other thing I want you to hear is that when we're playing this tune, the main groove, if our quarter note is here, that's the speed of the song. 1, 2, the 8th note against that, ba, 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 ba. But the groove, or the riff, is so you don't have to play anything faster than that to really have a cool solo. And Billy kind of does a call and response, and a lot of great players will do this, where they might play something 1E and a 2E and a because they're kind of mimicking the main groove. So they might start off with 3, 4, whole note, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. So you have some cool call and response rhythmically in your playing. And that's as fast as you have to go to make it sound cool. And we'll do that against the track here. So we're going to do 2 things. We're going to play it normal speed, and then we're going to really make sure we listen for that key change. And a lot of times in music like this, the drummer, a lot of you get lost on 12-bar blues, you've told me, and some chord progressions. So we want to start to listen for keys, or clues, let's say that will tell us when a change is coming. And a lot of times the drummer will clue us in. So let's take it from the top. A 1, 2, let's use our idea. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Let's turn the gain back up a little bit. Give you some panache. 1. Okay, so we heard the chord change there. And then it went to E. Okay, so we heard a little bit of phrasing. Let's do some phrasing, and let's anticipate the chord change, and then we'll break it down even further. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Chord progression. Chord change. So I heard the chord change coming because the drummer let in, but we don't want to always be leaning on the drummer to do that. We want to have a real good idea of where we're headed. So let's try it one more time. Before we do that, I want to mention, I'm just kind of throwing some stuff at the wall here and seeing what sticks. And I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, da 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 da. Any of the patterns that you know in A minor will work over the A riff. Any of the patterns you know in E minor will work over E. And it's important to maybe as a practice tool, let's try something like this. We have A minor pentatonic. What's the closest E minor pentatonic? This one. Pattern 2. How about pattern 4? The closest A minor pentatonic, that's pattern 2. So you see why it's important to know all your patterns and all your keys, because you might run into a tune like this. I'm going fast over this stuff just because I want you to get the idea. Get the idea of changing keys in your head, knowing that you should know these patterns laying over top of one another. And also think about the phrasing. A long note, one long sustained note, then a flurry. And then the same thing over and over. Let's try it again, see what we get. A 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. This. Back to A. Try some other rhythms like a triplet. Da 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 da. So notice, as fast as I'm playing there is just that ba 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 ba. So that's a good thing. You could put this track on and just play. And if you can keep up with that, then you know you have the chops to play that fast. That's all you need to know. It doesn't have to be any faster than that. Because anything faster than that, let's hear it. We're at E now. Doesn't seem right. It just sounds way more Billy to do it the other way, and it just sounds funkier and soulful. So find the highest and fastest rhythmic notation in the song if you can, and let that be sort of your ceiling. All right, so fun theoretical stuff, not a whole lot of, you know, sort of put your hand here, put your finger on that fret sort of stuff. This is more, a little more holistic guitar talking approach here. But if you want to get the tab for that performance, I'm going to host that on my site, Working Class Guitar. You can try it free for 14 days. Go in, grab a bunch of stuff, hang out, or come back and join us monthly for stuff like monthly Zoom calls and more lessons that aren't on YouTube. Lots of fun. So we heard the El Hombre pedal from J Rockett Audio. We learned some stuff about how to apply some Billy Gibbons isms to your playing. Had to say it slow, even though maybe shouldn't have said it at all. How about that? Billy Gibbons isms to your playing. I think it's a lot of fun. Hope you dug it. Check me out on more videos on the channel. Please subscribe. Please hit the thumbs up button. We're really having a lot of fun on this channel with a lot of the folks that are getting so much information. And of course, you can click the link below for the pedal and for my site, Working Class Guitar, and get a bunch of stuff free for 14 days as a trial. Stay with us. I think you'll like it. And I'll see you on the next video.